underlying energy is the Six of Wands. Underneath that is the Four of Pentacles. Okay, now this is where we get a little suspicious here. The Four of Pentacles does talk about holding on to your comfort zone, but it also indicates that you may be reevaluating your value or your worth. Okay, that's not a bad thing either, right? Sometimes we do need to just kind of figure out, what do we deserve? What do we need? Like, what, what makes us us, or things like that. Sometimes we just kind of need to figure out what makes us tick, and hey, that's okay, right? Or just figuring out truly what our value is, right? Because we may interact with some scumbag or whatever, right? And that shows us exactly who we are, because we were holding on to them too damn tight, right? They're like, oh, we are amazing individuals. I deserve love, right? I deserve, happiness, affection, things like that. Sometimes soulmates can help us with that too, but sometimes we can figure that out on our own, like the Four of Pentacles is indicating. We could just figure out that we do deserve more than what we've got, instead of just settling for less, settling for what we've worked so hard for, which may not be everything that we can ever have. You know what I mean? Aside from that, though, your underlying energy is the Six of Wands. It talks about pride. It talks about the actions that you take that you're proud of. Feeling proud about what you've done, who you've become in that process, the progress of the efforts that you've been putting in. You're proud of that. I do see that there. Now, in your heart of your reading, you have the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups can indicate for you guys friends, family, and it definitely to me indicates family for today, because of this Ten of Cups here that's crossing in. I feel like you guys have gotten, either reunited with someone that is very close to you, or feel reunited with somebody, or this could indicate here that you guys have, you're surrounded by people that support you. You definitely, or the challenge is finding people that support you. Maybe figuring out who's really within your inner circle, or who's really has your back, who really wants to help you and support you as you go forward. Again, I do feel like this is a reunion kind of energy, so there could be people that you may not have thought about in a while, but they still have your back. They still kind of are strong. Or there may be this test of friendships this next couple weeks. But the Three of Pentacles really indicates, people with similar energies. It's a very celebratory card, success and happiness, and it's crossed by the Ten of Cups, which is the happily ever after card. Now, the Ten of Cups can indicate with this, can indicate family, like I said before. It can indicate an ending of a cycle, but it also can indicate that with it being crossed like this, right? The obstacle could be that whatever happiness that you're experiencing, you want to experience it with another person. You want to experience it with other people. Not just that you want to have a harmonious lifestyle, but you want to feel good and feel happy to express that happiness, or you want to share that happiness with other people. Right? Like, it's, again, you are worried about the people, and I don't know if you're worried per se, but you want people in your circle that can support you and be happy for you as well as happy with you. Because I feel like there's something something that's a great deal, something that makes you very happy and a great deal happy, because you broke free from your comfort zone, right? And that's something to be proud of in itself. And I feel like you want people to be proud of you too. They don't want no jealousy, no people that have their own hidden agendas behind it. You want people to truly be purely about yourself, right? But the way you do that is by giving back as well. It's by showing that your support, showing that you're willing to be happy for them, and they go through certain situations. It's very give and take sort of thing. Very give and take. And I feel like the only reason why you're in a group like that is because you show that of yourself. You have that in you already. You have that cup. The cup of compassion and support there too. And I feel like that's the thing that's going to get you there. The obstacle really ain't the Ten of Cups. It's more that Three of Cups, in my opinion. Now, in the past, you have the Knight of Swords. You're definitely going in, fighting for whatever it is that you believed in. You were going in full speed ahead. Now, you have two interesting cards here, very similar to either, I think it's Aquarius. You have two cards in here that's very interesting. You have the slowest, no, it's Capricorn. You have the fastest card, and you have the slowest card. Now, in the past, you were definitely moving in super fast, perhaps a little bit combative, or maybe you were dealing with somebody that was very combative here. It could have been a Gemini, could have been a Libra or Aquarius. But the thing is, too, is that you guys definitely were making some serious progress, moving definitely towards this Knight of Pentacles. Now, this could be you moving towards this individual that was offering some sort of pentacles anyway. Or maybe this was you guys offering this person some sort of pentacle. So it's interesting that these two are facing each other all in all, right? It's almost like they barely meet each other halfway, because this person's going way too fast for them to even be halfway. But this person is going to be offering them something of great value, and I feel like this person's going in to kind of claim that in a very interesting way. But either way, right? There was a lot of fast moving energy, some progress being made, and especially when it comes to communication with, getting things done, and especially when it has a lot to do with your truth. Now, in the present, you have the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands is a really good card to have. This is a new beginning. Could be rekindling something with an old flame. Like I said, the Three of Wands can indicate a reunion, and with the Ace of Wands, it can indicate the ex coming back card, or somebody of great, the rekindling of the flame card. Now, it doesn't have to be an ex that comes up for some of you guys. It could be someone brand new, or it could be a whole new different journey where you're tapping into your more creative side, going off of pure passion, something that is influenced by how you feel about something. And it's something you may see a great deal of value in with the Knight of Pentacles in your external energy. Okay, you definitely feel more stable regarding this. And for somebody, like I said, somebody may have offered you something and then sparked something new. Now, again, I don't know if this is exactly a relationship. The Knight of Pentacles could indicate that this person offered you something that's that's relationship wise. It could indicate that you guys have, definitely decided to be more exclusive, but there's still a lot more information to get from it, because the Nine of Pentacles is not just about, oh, somebody offered you something nice, something long term, something that's of greater value. It can also indicate that this person's taking some time to really evaluate and look at the details of something, right? So, it may be just like you're headed in a good direction, a stable or foundation building direction, or a relationship that can, that can potentially lead to something more than just the boyfriend and girlfriend. And I feel like that, that's possible, but it's going to take some real hard work, some diligent, obviously diligent work, but it's going to take some time to really look at everything that you're made of, everything that that you believe you're worth, looking at your value. Now, in the future, you have the Three of Pentacles. Now, let's talk about looking at the future, seeing if there's a future at all to begin with, but also making plans and setting things up so that there is a better flow to execute a certain goal. And I like that there. Now, some of you guys, you definitely kind of started something new here, and it's something to be excited about. But I do feel like you guys move into a bit more of a practical approach, right? I think you guys definitely take it to the next level, because I feel like you definitely just want to commit to this awesome new beginning. First and foremost, right? Committing is meaning like being fully invested in the moment with this. So, with this Ace of Wands, so the passion is there. It's coming up. Definitely, there's definitely more than a spark of excitement. This is just a whole fire flaming up. But then it takes it to a very practical approach where you're going to start, you may start planning for the future, start planning ahead. But I feel like this is even a leap at the moment, because right now the Knight of Pentacles is taking his time looking at the details, really focusing on what he's got to work with. And then Ace of Wands is not a Pentacles card. It's not about planning ahead. It's about being in the moment. So I do feel like with this Ace of Wands, it's important to just be in the moment right now, to just celebrate, be happy about where you are, instead of worrying about where you're going to go, because you can go anywhere, right? You want to share the happiness with somebody, you definitely can, and in a way, the Three of Cups is doing that. But you don't have to plan out the whole, everything ahead of time. And I don't think that you guys are. But the situation, it looks like, is that where are we going to move here next? Where are we going to move here next? Don't worry so much about where you're going to go. Because honestly, if you're not focusing on the present and building a strong foundation then you're going to have a situation where you're going to be moving forward, you're in a relationship with somebody, and then you didn't really spend the time necessary to get to know the person before you really were sure that this is a relationship you want to be attached to for longer than you kind of have been, because you may find out in the middle of it where you guys may not mesh, where you guys may not make sense, where you guys may not really work together. And that's okay. You can work around it, or you can find ways to kind of overcome that. Or if it's just too big, is a deal breaker for some of y'all, you can leave it. But it is important to pay attention to the person, to get to know the individual. The Knight of Pentacles is probably the one of the best for dating, is because he's really looking at what he's working with. He's working with this individual. He's seeing the details of this person. He's taking into account all of their stuff, everything. This is what the card is for Virgo. He's taking notes on who this individual is, and they're making sure, like, okay, what am I missing? What do I need to know about this individual? What are their likes? What are their disagreements? What do they believe? What are their political standpoints? What are their religious standpoints? What are their cultural standpoints? What is their, how is their mindset? What do they feel about this? They're very detail oriented, Pisces. And I know it's hard to be a Virgo right now, but your 7th house is Virgo. So how you are in relationships is a Virgo. You're very, you know everything about your partner. Right? You can know everything about your partner. And you have the beautiful ability to dream and make that a reality. But you have to be very, you have to commit and buckle down and, to pay attention to this individual. Not because they can show that their ugly side, because obviously everyone has one. You'd have one, I have one, everybody in the world has one. It's not about that. It's about seeing if y'all really work together as a team. Because the 3 of Pentacles, that is a teamwork building situation here. You don't just build a future by yourself. You build it with the other person. And if you have, like, the 3 of Pentacles in a way is good too, because you figure out where you guys work and don't work as a team. But most importantly, you get the ideas and you get all the inspiration to build forward by understanding who this person is. The more and more you get to know them. Now, your goal and ambition is the 9 of Pentacles. Now, if this is in a relationship, this could indicate that you guys feel, feeling more independent, more confident in yourself, as far as building something, because you are surrounded by the abundance that you put out there, right? That you've been working very hard to make, to create. So it's a good thing in a way to kind of feel, to feel this. But this also could indicate, feeling kind of trapped in a gilded cage, Like, you kind of don't want to be, you want to feel secure, you want to feel stable, but I don't think you want to feel bored. And I don't think that's necessarily a worry or fear or anything. It's just like, you just want to feel more independent in yourself. You don't want to lose your sense of identity with this relationship, and I don't think you will. And I feel like the way you do that is just by being yourself, being who you are, But don't build a gilded cage. Because it's going to, if you want happiness here, it's going to require you to be emotionally open. But still, like, if you, like, your desire, your goal, where you're aiming to be is stable, solid. Everything around you being something, that you can count on. Okay? Because you, in a way, you have made that happen. You have made that so. Now, in your outcome, you have the Page of Wands, and that is a spark of something new and something fun. Now, it's bigger, it's like the bigger version of the Page of Wands is this Ace of Wands, excuse me, not Ace of Pentacles, but Ace of Wands is a bigger bang for your buck than the Page of Wands. But this is talking about lighthearted energy. This is something that's a spark of passion, a little bit of fun, and it leads to a great adventure. You discover yourself as when you with this energy. But there's also news or message. For some of you guys, it could just be someone offered you something a little bit more, carefree, something a little bit more light, not so heavy or dense like a pentacle, or emotional like a cup, or serious like a sword. But this is something fun, something to kind of, explore yourself with, to explore your passions. And I do like that energy, especially when it comes to getting to know the person. Okay, so that Page of Wands there, it's definitely a lovely little energy to have. All right, so let's go ahead and see what's going on with your Messenger Oracle this time around. A new day dawns. Love it. So you have a new beginning, starting a new beginning here. And yeah, the doors have opened to something, to a gateway to something new. Something that can be amazing, that has the potential to grow into something great. And you see what your Wisdom of the Oracle card is. Unfinished symphony. So this could indicate for a lot of you guys that you deal with some exes. But this also talks about something that isn't finished, isn't over. There's something that's still playing. It's playing out, and it needs to play out because there's something that may have been a lesson that may not that may not have been totally grasped, but like before, or there may be something between you and an individual that hasn't been hashed out, or there may have been a certain path in which you're trying to go to that hasn't really, that you haven't gotten, you haven't really finished completing that out right yet, if you know what I'm saying. Like if you're going down a path and you kind of quit midway and it's come back up. Yeah, I feel like this is a situation like that for some of you guys. But Unfinished Symphony means that whatever you thought was over, it isn't. And right now it's about completing it. Now you're starting something new here, and it's like a new opportunity when something was thought to be over. Right, or more so than anything, right, a new beginning of a situation that really never ever left. And it's about making something new out of what you've got going on, even if it is familiar, even if it's with someone that you know. Start from scratch. Start from scratch. Because at this moment in time, coming from a place where you're familiar with everything and everything like that, you may end up missing what the Unfinished Symphony is trying to tell you with this new day is dawning. Because the whole premise of it is like, you got a new beginning, make something of it, make the best of it, be in the moment with it. But if you're in the past, or if you're in any situation where you're like, oh yeah, I've been through this place before, don't go down that path, don't go down that road of, oh God, this is what's going to happen again. No, treat it like it's a different situation. Because if you don't change the pattern in which this unfinished symphony is coming up, you're going to continue to get hit with this. So treat it like it's something new. Treat it like it's something different, because you are different from the last time this has come up, from the last situation where you had something come up like this. You have to embrace the situation as you are the new person. Okay? You're not that person that was that remembers everything that happened that may be very similar to this. You're a new individual, so come at it with a new approach, and you may find whatever lesson that you may not have gotten from the last. You may get it this time, and you may have even something better, right? You may have what you've been trying to get to for the longest, or you may end up getting, closing this chapter up for sure, but with something that's a great reward from it.